Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and censorship in Hearthstone has kind of been a thing for a while now. Ever since our poor old Jaina was forced to cover up over 5 years ago one of the most infamous nerfs in Hearthstone history. We have seen a lot of cards change from their original version to a more, I guess, reasonable version, rumored for a long time to be due to Blizzard's relationship with China in general. We're gonna go over some of the censorship changes we have seen in Hearthstone, including a whole whack of brand new ones that appear to be China exclusive, but could that change or influence things in the future? We'll talk about it, the possible implications of it, and if you enjoy the content on the channel, if you like, I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below, give the video a like, it helps us out a lot. So I remember when this happened, I think it was like 2019, there was a big patch, and all of a sudden, Jaina was slightly more covered up with like the little piece added to her chest there. And I think there was like, what, look at this Reddit post, there's almost 10,000 upvotes. You don't see that much. That's one of the probably higher upvoted things, period, on the Hearthstone subreddit. But it wasn't the only card changed at the time. And Blizzard at the time, they said it wasn't censorship, it was more of just stylistic changes, and we saw a number of cards change. A lot of you may have never seen this before, but these cards were like this in the game for like the first 5 years of its existence. He had Bite, showed like an animal like destroying its prey with blood splattering, was changed to just roaring, whatever, a saber, whatever they're called. Again, I'm terrible with Warcraft stuff. Deadly shot literally through like an arrow through a soldier with a little, I don't know if that's blood or just a little bit of that, which it changed to just being an arrow shot into the air, so less violent. Eviscerate there were like little splashes of blood here and there. Basically, those were taken away to make Eviscerate slightly less bloody. Headcrack saw a massive change with these rocks like smacking these minions to just this unrecognizable. I've never liked the new Headcrack art. It just looks off, weird, and a little too cartoonish in comparison to that. Also, Mistress of Pain was literally renamed. It was renamed and reskinned into the Queen of Pain, which looks considerably, different, less detailed. I'm sorry, Mistress of Pain, she's got my heart, the original version. Secret Keeper had its art changed. Her booty, I know Lieutenant Eddie showed that one off quite a lot to a more, I guess, a reasonable version, just showing the front. Not the worst, but that baby got back there. And Succubus was completely reworked as well, from being called Succubus, a nice little lady there, to Fellstalker, a nasty looking demon. What happened, you know? Like the meme of what you fell asleep at 3 a.m., what you woke up to in the morning. It's just brutal. And Wind Fury Harpy got changed a little bit. A little less, figure fitting outfit there and all that, but still not the worst thing in the world. And at the time, the common thread about this was the cards were made less violent or less sexual, and that's what most people are upset about. Claims abound that Blizzard is censoring its own artwork, and it is somehow caving to social pressure to make the game more kid-friendly. This is simply not the case, according to statements made to Kotaku. The recent changes were applied to make those cards more visually cohesive and consistent with the art style of Hearthstone today. And when Hearthstone first launched, we brought in a lot of artwork from physical World of Warcraft trading card game. In the years since, Hearthstone has developed a look, feel, and personality of its own that distinguishes itself from Warcraft. And if you look through the standard collection today, how the artwork looks in the game, you could definitely make that argument. Like, it's definitely a lot different than it used to be. A lot more, I'd say, laid back, fun, cartoonish at time. No better example than Whizbang's Workshop, a literal toy-based expansion with like puppeteers. I mean, definitely had more of the serious vibe, if you want to call it that. But then I know certain road players out there got pretty triggered when they have to play with toy boats, dust buddies, and I love that water cannon has a pirate literally riding a rubber ducky. It's basically staying true, right? that the game has been like that for quite a long time. It's kind of the norm, but if you go back to Legacy, it's a lot more serious tone, a lot more reused assets. If you didn't know, there actually was a physical trading card game. I think Brian Kibler even worked on it. That's where a lot of the old art comes from. You have like Ice Lads, Novice Engineer here, Lights Justice, the Totems, Thought Steel. A lot of those assets were used in creation of the game, and some remain today. We see Headcrack, which has been since changed, but a ton of cards. And I know it's not all of them, but yeah, that's kind of, you know, the way the game evolved, and at least to a point where I think the art is really fun. You got your more serious expansions, your Frozen Thrones, your March of the Lich King, but then you get a Whizbang or something pretty silly like that. I think it's a nice mix. But now with the NetEase agreement being settled with Blizzard, their 1-year estranged relationship, they're coming back together. They're already patching the game for China. I don't know if it's out there yet, but Benich, who's a Chinese reporter, said a new wave of card art got Janed in 29.4. Blizzard back in China this summer, and we're just going to go through some of the changes. This is only in their service. This is not changing our game, but it makes you wonder, is it going to impact the direction of the game going forward? Could they make these changes here? I feel like they would have already, but let's go through it. It's kind of interesting. And like Priestess of Fury, which is on the thumbnail, had more of her like chest covered up, her legs covered up. We have Skull of Gul'dan getting horns added to it. I know there's a lot of things in China with like skeletons, and almost all the skeleton art or skull art from a lot of cards are completely different over in China that have never had to be changed for what we have. There's also like just color changes, the red eyes going to green eyes, getting like these tusks. This is the Spellstone for Demon Hunter, I believe, and then the upgraded one is even reworked with like the green. They're trying to make it like a skeleton, more of like a different style of creature, not human based, I guess is what we're looking for, or more human looking. Yeah, the color changes there, animated puppeteer. Some of the changes are a lot more minor that you might not notice, but again, a lot of it skull based. Like this guy's mouth is now a beak, no longer human. We have a dagger. I never even noticed that this card, the play card, has like a sword going through their chest. That has been removed. Their hand's still in the same position, but yes, that has been changed as well. The blood rune or plague story going to purple. I guess again, censoring blood, making it less bloody. The same going for the Primus's blood usage, as well as, oh, they literally jaded Eudar. People have been waiting. Are they going to do that? Sorry, I'll move my head down here. You can see, yeah, a certain part of Eudar slightly been covered up. Actually, let's shrink myself so we can show the art a bit better as we go along. I'll link this thread down below if you want to take a look. Again, Eudar being censored as well. Skull of Bones being slightly changed with the horns on the top. Again, I guess to make it less human-like is my assumption. You can let me know in the comments down below if you're a little bit more educated than me on that. And even like the Excavate Death Knight card has like the skull just kind of removed here. See a little bit of the remnants of the teeth, but no eyes, no nose. And then they even Janed an ogre. The ogre's booba was much too booba for this game, and yes, they covered that up. So those are just some of the changes that have gone live over again, this is more of like the Chinese servers side of things, but you wonder, like, will they make other changes? Could it impact Hearthstone? But it's just a kind of interesting little look at like the changes sometimes they make, or just the general direction of like the evolution of the card art in the game. Because believe me, there are some people that are super passionate about this, get very upset that the card art is more kiddie or serious or less serious, if there's not enough, you know, there's too much smiling and not enough violence. But to me, Hearthstone has really evolved into just this whimsical, fun fantasy card game that's a lot more about over the top like shenanigans a lot of the time, with a bit of seriousness dipped in. The Death Knight class has definitely helped with that, but overall, I do like the direction of the card game. I think it appeals to a broader audience, and yeah, dabble in the series here and there, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of censoring some ogre booba. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.